I just got back from Florida.
Did you even rest your mind? Your mind is overactive, and the mind is what counts, dear.
I'll start out in the morning. Maybe I'll feel better.
Fine, take an aspirin. Maybe it'll soothe you.
I was driving along, you understand? And I was fine. And all of a sudden, I'm going off the road. I absolutely forgot I was driving. And 5 minutes later, I'm dreaming again. I have such thoughts, such strange thoughts.
Willie, dear, talk to them again. There's no reason why you can't work in New York.
They don't need me in New York. I'm the New England man. I'm vital to New England.
But you're 60 years old. They can't expect you to keep traveling every week. Why don't you go down to the place tomorrow?
I will. I definitely will. The boys in?
Yeah, they're sleeping. Happy took Biff on a date tonight. It was so nice seeing them go out together.
Did Biff say anything after I went this morning?
You shouldn't have criticized him. You mustn't lose your temper with him.
When the hell did I lose my temper? I simply asked if he was making any money.
But dear, how could he make any money? He's finding himself, Willie.
Not finding yourself at 34 is a disgrace. Trouble is, he's lazy, goddammit.
Willie, please!
Biff is a lazy bum.
In this scene, Willie is introduced as a man under much stress, to the point where he can no longer function properly. We see that his relationship with Linda, his wife, is one where Linda constantly fusses over his well-being, and Willie usually brushes her off. We also see Willie's very prideful nature, and despite the fact that he has agreed with Linda, his stubborn behavior is evident as he resists any attempt to change his routine initially. And we also are shown a bit about Willie's relationship with his son Biff. We immediately know that their relationship is tense, but we aren't given any reason why, likely in order to build interest in the plot.
We are given further insight into Biff's conflict with Willie. This moment of reflection for Biff shows the other side of him and adds more interest to the plot.
Why does Dad always mock me?
He's not mocking you.
Everything I say, there's a twist of mockery on his face. I can't get near him.
He just wanted you to make good, that's all. I just wanted to talk to you about Dad for a long time, Biff. Something's happening to him, like he talks to himself.
You know, I noticed that this morning, but he always mumbles.
But not so noticeable. It got so embarrassing that I sent him to Florida. And you know something? Most of the time he's talking to you.
What's he say about me?
You can't make it out.
What's he say about me?
I think the fact that you're not settled, that you're still kind of up in the air.
Don't lay it all to me.
But I think if you got started, is there any future for you out there?
I tell you, Hap, I don't know what the future is. I don't know what I'm supposed to want.
In this scene, through Biff's conversation with Happy, we learn that Willie is likely just looking out for Biff's best interest, and it shows him in a more nurturing light.
This scene is used to clear up the conflicts and add even greater focus on Willie. It is used to build up suspense and make the story much darker.
Hey, Biffo!
What the hell's the matter with him?
No, let him go.
Don't go near him.
Stop making excuses for him. He never had 1 ounce of respect for you.
He's always had respect for...
What the hell do you know about it? He's got no character. Charlie wouldn't do this, not to his own house, spewing that vomit from his mind.
Charlie never had to cope with what he's got to.
People are worse off than Willie Loman.
Then make Charlie your father, Biff. Can't do that, can you? Willie Loman isn't the finest character that ever lived, but he's a human being, and a terrible thing is happening to him.
I didn't mean...
No, a lot of people think he's lost his balance. But you don't have to be very smart to know what the trouble is.
Well, sure.
A small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. He works for a company 36 years this March, and now in his old age, they take his salary away.
Oh, I didn't know that, Mom.
You never asked, my dear. Now that you get your spending money someplace else, you never trouble your mind with him.
I gave you money last...
$50 to fix the water? It cost $97.50. For 5 weeks, he's been on commission like a beginner.
Those ungrateful people.
But are they any better than his sons? No one welcomes him. No one knows him anymore. And what goes through a man's mind driving 700 miles home without having earned a cent? Why shouldn't he talk to himself? Why? When he has to go to Charlie every week to get $50 and pretend to me that that's his pay. How can you tell me he has no character? The man who never worked a day but for your benefit? What happened to the love you had for him?
Alright, Mom. I'll live here in my room and get a job.
You can't stay here and fight all the time.
He'll be alright. He'll settle for half my paycheck.
He won't be alright. He's dying, Biff.
Why is he dying?
He's been trying to kill himself. Remember when I wrote you that he smashed up the car again in February? The insurance inspector came. He said he had evidence that all these accidents in the last year weren't exactly accidents.
What? What do you mean?
Well, there was a woman.
What? What woman?
She was a witness to his crash. She said she saw him driving down the road. He wasn't going very fast at all. She says he came to that little bridge and then deliberately smashed onto the railing. And it was only the shallowness of the water that saved him.
See, Biff? How'd you like that, you damned fool?
Alright, pal. Alright. It's settled now. I've been remiss. I know that, Mom, but now I'll stay. And I swear to you, I'll apply myself. I'll try. I'll try and make good.
I know you will, Biff.
We are given more information on Willie's relationship with Biff and how it causes friction between the family members. We learn that Willie's condition is so severe that it has led him to suicidal acts and thoughts. The accidents may have been caused by his drifts from reality, but we know for a fact that his condition is potentially deadly.
This scene provides an even more detailed example of Willie's condition, and it helps us understand the extent of Willie's detachment from reality. It is a part of the rising action in the story as it further develops Willie's internal conflict.
I'm getting awfully tired, Ben.
Wait, did you just call me Ben?
Oh, that's funny. For a second there, you reminded me of my brother Ben.
I have only a few minutes.
You ever heard from him again, huh?
Didn't Linda tell you? A couple weeks ago, we got a letter from Africa. He died.
I must make a trade, William. There are several properties I'm looking at in Alaska. Opportunity is tremendous in Alaska, William. Surprised you're not up there.
Sure, tremendous.
Huh?
How are you all?
Fine, fine.
Is Mother living with you?
No, she died a long time ago.
Who?
Eh?
That's too bad. I'd hope to see the old girl.
Who died?
Heard anything from Father, have you?
What do you mean, who died?
What are you talking about?
The character is extremely complex, and through this scene we see just how much confusion it creates for himself and for others. Willie is shown to be absolutely unable to separate reality and imagination to the point where he can't even make sense of the situation. We also see Willie's stubborn and assertive personality as he forces Charlie away and refuses to concede. We also gain insight as to how Willie must feel about success because Ben's appearance is always a harbinger of Willie's thoughts for success.
This scene further develops the conflicts between Willie and his family, as well as focusing on Biff's own struggle to be successful.
I'll see Oliver tomorrow. Hap, if you could work that out.
Maybe things are beginning to...
Stop interrupting. Don't wear a sports jacket or slacks when you see Oliver.
No, I'll...
A business suit, and talk as little as possible, and don't crack any jokes.
He did like me. Always liked me.
He loved you.
Will you stop? Walk in very serious. You're not applying for a boy's job. Money is to pass. Be quiet, fine, and serious. Everybody likes a kidder, but nobody lends him money. Remember, start big and you'll end big. Ask for 15. How much are you gonna ask for?
Gee, I don't know.
Don't say G. G is a boy's word. A man walking in for $15,000 does not say G.
10, I think. Would be top, though.
You always start too low. Walk in with a big laugh, and don't look worried. Start off with a couple of your good stories to lighten up. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because personality always wins the day.
But Oliver always set the highest.
Will you let me talk?
Don't yell at her, Pop, will ya? I don't like you yelling at her all the time. I'm telling you.
What are you, taking over this house?
Willie.
Don't take his side all the time, goddammit.
Stop yelling at her!
This scene again demonstrates the double-sided coin that is Willie's and Biff's relationship. Willie is obviously a supportive father, but his issues with Biff cause problems for everyone in the family. Willie's personality is better defined in this scene as a supportive but aggressive. And
This scene is a calm before the storm as Willie embarks on his mission to see Howard.
You going to talk to Howard today?
Yeah, I'll put him straight and simple. He'll have to take me off the road.
And Willie, don't forget to ask for a little advice because we've got the insurance premium. It's the grace period now.
That's 100.
108.68 because we're a little short again.
Why are we short?
Well, you had the motor job on the car.
That goddamn Studebaker.
And you got one more payment on the refrigerator.
But it just broke again.
Well, it's old, dear.
I told you we should have bought a well-advertised machine. Charlie bought a General Electric and it's 20 years old and it's still good, that son of a bitch. Once in my life I would like to own something outright before it's broken. I'm always in a race with the junkyard. I just finished paying for the car and it's on its last legs. The refrigerator consumes belts like a goddamn maniac. They time those things. They time them so that when you finally paid for them, they're used up.
All told, about $200 would carry us, dear. But that includes the last payment on the mortgage. After this payment, Willie, the house belongs to us. It's an accomplishment.
All the cement, all the lumber, the reconstruction I put into this house, there ain't a crack to be found in it anymore. Anyway, goodbye, I'm late.
Oh, I forgot. You're supposed to meet Biff and Happy for dinner.
Me?
At Frank's Chop House on 48th near 6th Avenue.
That's so. How about you?
No, just the three of you. They're gonna blow you to a big meal.
Don't say. Who thought of that?
Biff came to me this morning, Willie, and he said, "Tell Dad we want to blow to him a big meal. Be there at 6 o'clock. You and your two boys are gonna have dinner."
Gee whiz, that's really something. I'm gonna knock Howard for a loop, kid. I'll get in advance, and I'll come home with a New York job. God damn it, now I'm gonna do it.
Oh, that's the spirit, Willie.
I will never get behind a wheel the rest of my life.
It's changing, Willie. I can feel it changing.
Beyond the question. Goodbye, I'm late.
This scene shows Willie's determined attitude and perhaps his slight delusional tendencies. We also see his desperate need for success through his obsession over the broken appliances as well as his jealousy over Charlie's successes.
This scene is part of the play's climax as it is the fall that Willie suffers and his turning point of facing reality.
Hey, Howard, can I speak to you?
What happened? Why are you here?
To tell you the truth, Howard, I've come to the decision I'd rather not travel anymore.
Not travel? Well, what will you do then?
Remember at Christmas time when you had that party? You said you'd think of some spot for me here in town.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Well, just couldn't think of anything for you, Willie.
Well, Howard, speaking frankly, between the two of us, I'm just a little tired.
I understand that, but you're a road man, Willie, and we do a road business. I appreciate you, but there's just no spot for you here. Sorry, but that's that.
Please, Howard, all I need to set my table is $50 a week.
But where will I put you?
Look, it's not a question of whether I can sell merchandise, right?
No, it's just business, and everyone's gonna pull their own.
If I had $40 a week, that's all I need. $40, Howard.
You'll have to excuse me, Willie. I gotta go see a lot of people. Pull yourself together. I'll be back in a little while.
Pull myself together. What the hell did I say to him? My God, I was yelling at him. How could I? I gotta get myself some coffee. I'll get some coffee.
Willie, look.
I'll go to Boston.
Willie, you can't go to Boston for us.
Why can't I go?
I don't want you to represent us. I've been meaning to tell you for a long time now.
Howard, are you firing me?
I think you need a good long rest, Willie.
Howard.
And when you feel better, come back, and we'll see if we can work something out.
But I gotta earn money, Howard. I'm in no position.
Where are your sons? Why don't your sons give you a hand?
They're working on a very big deal.
This is no time for false pride, Willie. You go to your sons and you tell them that you're tired. You've got two great boys, haven't you?
Well, no question. But in the meantime...
Then that's that, eh?
All right, I'll go to Boston tomorrow.
No.
I can't throw myself on my sons. I'm not a cripple.
Look, kid, I'm very busy this morning.
Howard, you've gotta let me go to Boston.
I've got a line of people to see this morning. Sit down, take 5 minutes, and pull yourself together, and then go home, will you? I need the office, Willie.
This scene marks the fall of Willie Loman. We see his tough and solid demeanor fall apart as he pleads with Howard and then starts to rant in anger and frustration. Willie is starting to face reality in this scene because of Howard's unappreciative behavior. Willie may be starting to question his actual worth, but by this point he is definitely aware of his physical inabilities. But Howard's inflexibility and eventual decision to fire Willie was a crushing blow to his pride. And after Howard fires Willie, Willie is completely lost and drifts from reality into imagination. This could be seen as his choice to fall away from reality and choose fantasy, since he has found it to be nothing more than a delusion.
In addition to the climax, we have this scene to express just how much Willie has been affected, and it foreshadows Willie's death.
Charlie, look, I got my insurance to pay. If you can manage it, I need $110. I'd draw it from my bank, but Linda would know, and
Sit down, Willie.
I'm keeping an account of everything, remember. I'll pay every penny back.
Now listen to me, Willie.
I want you to know I appreciate...
Willie, what are you doing? What the hell is going on in your head?
Why? I'm simply...
I offered you a job. You can make $50 a week, and I won't send you the road.
I've got a job.
Without pay? What kind of job is a job without pay? Now, look, kid, enough is enough. I'm no genius, but I know when I'm being insulted.
Insulted?
Wouldn't you want to work for me?
What's the matter with you? I've got a job.
Then what are you walking in here every week for?
Well, if you don't want me to walk in here...
I'm offering you a job.
I don't want your goddamn job.
Then when the hell are you going to grow up?
You big ignoramus. If you say that to me again, I'll wrap you one. I don't care how big you are.
How much do you need, Willie?
Charlie, I'm strapped. I don't know what to do. I was just fired.
Howard fired you?
That snot-nose. Imagine that.
Willie, the only thing you got in this world is what you can sell, and the funny thing is, you're a salesman and you don't know that.
I've always tried to think otherwise, I guess.
Now listen, I know you don't like me and no one can say I'm in love with you, but I'll give you a job just for the hell of it. What do you say?
I just can't. I can't work for you, Charlie. Don't ask me why.
You've been jealous of me all your life, you damn fool. Here, pay your insurance.
Funny, you know, after all the highways and the trains and the appointments and the years, you end up worth more dead than alive.
Willie, nobody's worth nothing dead. Do you hear what I said? Willie? Willie?
Charlie, you're the only friend I've got. Isn't that a remarkable thing?
Jesus.
In this scene, Willie realizes that he cannot be swept up in illusions anymore, because there is more at stake than just his pride. But despite his desperation, Willie still manages to place a great importance on his dignity and refuses to accept Charlie's job offer, and this is a very good example of just how stubborn or disillusioned Willie is.
Willie, are you in there, Willie?
Will you stop laughing? Will you stop?
Aren't you gonna answer the door? He'll wake the whole hotel.
Not expecting anybody.
Why don't you just have another drink, honey, and stop being so damn self-centered? You know you ruined me, really? From now on, when you come into the office, I'll see that you go right through the buyers.
That's nice of you to say that.
Gee, you're so self-centered. Aren't you gonna answer the door?
They're knocking at the wrong door.
But I felt the knocking and he heard us talking in here. Maybe the hotel's on fire. It's getting on my nerves, Willie. There's someone standing out there and it's getting on my nerves.
All right, then stay in the bathroom here. Stay in here and don't come out.
Why didn't you answer?
Biff, what are you doing in Boston?
I've been knocking for 5 minutes and I called you on the phone.
I just heard you. I was in the bathroom and I had the door shut.
Someone must have snuck into your bathroom.
No, it's the next room. There's a party.
Can I come in? There's something in the bathroom, Willie, and it's moving.
You better go back to your room. They must be done by now. They're painting a room, so I let her shower here. Go back now. Go. This is Miss Francis, Biff. She's a buyer. They're painting a room. Mr. Francis, go back.
But my things!
Get out of here. Go back. She's a buyer. Buys for J.H. Simmons. You don't imagine... Now listen, pal. She's just a buyer. All right, Biff? Go get my suits. Now stop crying and do as I say. How dare you cry? I gave you an order. Now look, Biff, when you grow up, you'll understand about these things. You mustn't overemphasize things like this.
All right, Dad.
She's nothing to me, Biff. I was lonely. I was terribly lonely.
Don't touch me, you liar.
Apologize for that.
You fake. You phony little fake.
Come back here or I'll beat you.
This scene is the example, or is the definition of why Biff is so resentful of his father. It shows us that Willie is nothing more than an immoral, hypocritical man. And when Biff realizes this, he is absolutely thrown apart because he once respected Willie for this. But when Willie is now shown as this immoral man, he is nothing more to Biff than a liar.
This scene is a resolution, and it wraps up all the conflicts in a very strange way by killing off Willie.
Yes, that boy is outstanding, with 20,000 behind him. Now, come to bed, Willie. It's all settled now.
Loves me. Always loved me. Isn't that a remarkable thing, Ben? You'll worship me for it.
Yep, it's dark, but there's full of diamonds. Willie, come up.
Yes, dear, I'm coming. It's very smart. You realize that, don't you, sweetheart? Even Ben sees it. I gotta go, Linda. Bye-bye. Imagine, when the mail comes around, he'll be ahead of Bernard again.
It's a perfect proposition all around.
Did you see how he cried to me? Oh, if I could kiss him, Ben.
Time, William, time. Look at the time.
Oh, Ben, I always knew one way or another we were gonna make it, Biff and I.
The boat will be late.
Wow. What do you think of that, Ben? Ben, Ben, how do I...
Willie, will you come up?
Shh, 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 shh.
Willie?
Willie? Willie, answer me, Willie. No!
Pop!
This scene shows Willie's final detachment from reality and his resignation to imagination and fantasy. Willie has decided that Biff and everyone else will be alright on their own, so he thinks it best to leave them. However, he comes to this conclusion through Ben's coaxing, and Ben could be seen as Willie's own mind telling him to do things, a sort of conscience. And through Willie's death, we know that all the conflicts are resolved. This death could be seen as a suicide, but it may be that Willie has no idea that he was going to die, and in fact was leaving the family to their business in search of his own fulfillment, as Ben says, "You must catch the train."
Willie? Answer me, Willie.
Oh my... In the mountains, in the valleys, wherever you go, that you cut your
You cut your down?
Anymore. I'm just what I am. Okay. Cut from there.
Okay.
Hoping not to go to far.
This scene is part of the play's.
In scene 2, we are. Oh no, wait. What the hell?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Whoa. Well, what is this? No.